Korea's archiving agency has announced it's got thousands of documents and photos showing Koreans conscripted into forced labor during Japan's colonial rule. And another research institute now has documents suggesting just how brutal Japan's recruitment of sex slaves, the so-called comfort women, may have been. Even the Japanese police at the time saw it as probably criminal. Oh Jung-hee has more.
Documents testifying to the brutality of Japanese colonial rule over Korea, including conscription into forced labor and sexual slavery, continue to come out. On Sunday, the National Archives of Korea announced it's to reveal almost 6,000 written and photographic records showing the circumstances of conscription in Korea in the 1930s and 40s. These 5,000 documents and 1,000 photos were contributed by a Korean Christian center in Japan, initially collected and produced by Eidai Hayashi, a Japanese journalist well known for his studies of Japan's wartime atrocities. Among them are newspapers published at a Japanese coal mine from 1944 to 1945. One of its records that of almost 2,000 Koreans forced to work at the mine, more than 1,100 escaped, not being able to withstand the harsh treatment there. Another paper describes a fire that killed 20 people at a mine that used Korean conscripts. Photos include those of the much-debated Hashima Island, a symbol of Japan's industrialization, but also where hundreds of Koreans were forced to labor at undersea coal mines. Meanwhile, a cultural research institute in Korea has disclosed documents from the late 1930s that show police officers in Japan were appalled by the recruitment of sex slaves from their own country, which they viewed as the kidnapping of women. In one of the documents, a police official near Osaka reports to his superior that he investigated 3 men suspected of kidnapping women by promising them food and money if they'll meet with soldiers. The official also leaves the names of the 3 suspects. But he later gets a reply saying that what he thought was kidnapping is a conscription policy and that the military and embassy are involved. If the so-called recruitment appeared unseemly to the Japanese police, many say it would have been far worse for the Korean woman it targeted. The Japanese government has often claimed there's no evidence to prove that conscription and sexual slavery were forced upon Koreans. But there are thousands upon thousands of records bearing witness to the reality of Japanese rule at the time, and more still coming out. Oh Jung-hee, Arirang News.